'tis the season to get spooky. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brie and this is 4 Paws in a Book. This is going to be part 2 of the seasonal spooky challenge. If you want to go back and watch vlog number 1, I'll leave it up in the cards. You don't have to read them in order. I'm just going to be reading the second half of the books in this one. There's actually 6 books in here. I clearly can't do basic math. I had 11 books that I needed to read. So in this vlog, we're going to be completing this board. We're going to fill out all of the spaces and it's going to be a good time. For the urban setting, I'm going to be reading Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. This is a vampire book that everyone talked about last year and I missed out. I had FOMO. I owned this book, I just didn't read it. And so now we're going to rectify that today. This is about a family who has a baby and then they win the housing lottery and they get to go to this like really fancy house. It's definitely outside of their price range, but things are not as they seem. The woman is disabled, she's in a wheelchair, and the house is not really like wheelchair accessible. So there's just some things that are odd. The neighbors are a little bit odd. For the southern prompt, I'm going to be reading The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. T. Kingfisher is super hit or miss for me, but I really did like What Moves the Dead, so I'm hoping that this has a very similar premise to it, or at least a similar vibe to it. It's about a woman who goes back to, I think, her grandmother's house after she passes to clean up after it. She was a hoarder and she finds some very disturbing things about her family. And then to complete the top row, I have The Vacation by John Mars. This is actually a thriller, not a horror, but that's okay. Had to put a John Mars in here, right? This is about a group of people who are at a hostel in LA, but there are a lot of secrets. There's some murders. I don't really know. It specifically says all of them are running from something and they have secrets they'd kill to keep. Sounds like it should be a really fun time. John Mars is quickly becoming a favorite author of mine, and so I'm happy to get another one on his list. So that fills out the main prompts and the number 2, the unlocking prompts, but some of the cover prompts I was not able to get with R8, and so we're adding a couple more books. For the book with a weapon on the cover, I'm going to be reading Sign Here by Claudia Lux. This is kind of like a fantasy horror crossover, and I've heard some mixed things about it. I've had it on my shelves forever. It's actually on a self-destruct list, so I thought it'd be a great idea to read it while I can. And it's about this person that works in hell, a demon, I guess, and he is trying to collect souls. He needs to like get one more family member to give him their soul, I guess. Somebody described it as the MLM from hell, and that just kind of resonated with me, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a good time. Then for Blood on the cover, I'm going to be reading Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. This is actually one of her original novellas that she published a long time ago, and then she republished it this year and added in some other short stories to it, and so I'm excited about it. I've heard some pretty good things about it, and I have enjoyed a Darcy Coates short story collection in the past. I have only read one of them. It was Quarter to Midnight, but I've heard some really good things about this one, and like the cover is just super creepy. Finally, we have Eyeball on the cover, and this one, when I was building my TBR, was the one that I was the most confused by. I just didn't have a book for it, and then everyone in the comments was like, the eyes are the best part. Everyone's reading The Eyes Are the Best Part, and so like, I can't have FOMO, I need to read this. This one has a really interesting comp title of Crying in H Mart meets My Sister the Serial Killer, and I've never really heard of a horror being described as a nonfiction, so that should be interesting. It's written by a Korean American woman. It is about our main character who is Korean American, and for some reason, don't know why, she wants to eat eyeballs. I don't know. I have heard gory things about this book. I have heard it's a little bit more literary horror, and that sometimes works for me. Sometimes it doesn't, but I just read So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison, and that also I think would be considered a literary horror, so we'll see what happens. I'm terrified of this book. Like, I mostly do. It's gross. It's gross, and eyes are a creepy, gross, weird thing. My fingers are tingling as I'm talking about it. Okay, that's the intro. Let's go. Good morning. I specifically had the thought as I was walking out the door, I don't need to pack up my camera because I am not going to vlog anything, and then realized that I was 50% of the way through at Nestlings, so I did need to vlog something. So you're getting a phone clip. So sorry. Also, I had an allergic reaction to something and my lip is swollen now. So this is just so much fun. But I am 50% of the way through Nestlings and I am having a great time with this. This is such a quiet, terrifying book because it's kind of literary in nature because it's got like, you know, it's family struggles, family, you know, this husband that's really just trying to care for his wife who is disabled, and their new child, and he's just trying to do the best thing for them, and everything seems to be going wrong every single turn. And then they get this lucky break where they get this house for much cheaper than, you know, it's part of this like housing lottery thing. But then like it's, oh, maybe this, you know, maybe it actually is continuous bad luck. We thought it was good luck, but really like things are just starting to happen that are just really weird, right? We start talking about bugs in this apartment, but they're like, oh, we can't say anything about it because then it'll look like we're being ungrateful. I can't explain this, actually. Like, I really can't, because I feel like people could think that this is boring, but because of the way that the author puts in these other POVs, like at the very, very beginning, you have this POV of the husband and the wife, right? Where they're, you know, going in and they're looking at this house and they're so excited about it. And then it switches to the POV of the broker who is showing them the house. And so then you get this little hint of, this was not random. This was not like a lucky draw. Like they were specifically chosen for a reason, and that reason is really nefarious. You as the reader know more than the character, and so you start getting this thought process of like, you know, when you're watching a movie and you're like, don't open that door, like something's behind it. You as the reader know these things that the character doesn't, but you're following them. So there's like this walking on eggshells, stepping on ice, hoping it doesn't crack kind of feeling to this book, and it's just like, it makes you want to continue reading, even though the majority of the book are these like quiet moments where like on its own would be kind of boring, but because of like the tension that the author has set, I don't know, like the writing of this book is just so well done. It's phenomenal. I will definitely read more books from him, so that's exciting. That's where I'm at. I'm 50% of the way through the book. I will likely finish it this morning while I'm working. I have stuff to do in the afternoon that I won't be able to read an audiobook for, and then tomorrow we have a huge work event, so I won't be able to read at all. So I really would like to finish this book today. Hello, I got busy. I didn't talk to you about this book for a couple of days, but I did finish Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. Sorry, there's a weird glare. I'm giving this book 4 stars. I really like this book, and I will definitely read more from Nat Cassidy. I read the author's note after I finished this, and it is heartbreaking, honestly. This was written during the lowest point in his life. The year was just terrible, not only for everybody because it was kind of written post-COVID, but like for him personally, the world decided like, fuck you. There's so much power in that turmoil, in that grief, in that anxiety and anger and just unrest, and like it really shows on the page. And I don't know, he has mastered the craft of writing, and I really want to read more from him. I am definitely gonna be picking up Mary, which is the book that he wrote before this, but this is definitely like a literary horror that worked for me. You know, when you have 30 seconds left to talk and then your battery dies and you didn't have any on the charger, so now I don't know what I was talking about. That would be me today. This is just, it's been a great day. Anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was very pleasantly surprised by it. I feel like there was so much hype going into it that like, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna like this, but then at the same time, sometimes when there is a lot of hype around a book, then I tend to hype it up in my brain and then it doesn't live up to it. I will say that I think my only critique of it is that the pacing feels so different in the first half versus the second half. I'm pretty sure the last time I talked to you, I was saying that like, oh, it kind of feels slow. There are these quiet moments, but then the ending of it, like the last, I would say like third of this book is just absolutely so quick, so fast, you do not have a chance to breathe. You have no idea like who you can trust, what, like, you know things, but then the character knows other things. It's a whole time. But yeah, anyways, 4 stars, very much enjoyed it. Let's move on. Hello, Doyle is like right here, so try not to step on his fluffy tail. But I have finished part 1 of Sign Here by Claudia Lux, and I don't know. I don't know how to talk about this book. I don't even know what genre this book is, because it's kind of giving like Library of the Unwritten vibes with this like quirky group of demons. But like, I actually think that the best way to explain this book is a weird hybrid of Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater and the Amazon Prime show The Boys, which is a weird weird combination that I didn't think ever existed. But I'm having fun with it, but I'm very confused because we have Peyote, who is this demon, and we're seeing the board meetings and and it's really like the staff meetings in hell, and like we gotta get our quota up, and like that's funny. I'm having a fun time with that. But then we are going back to this like other family that's having the summer vacation, and there's a lot of like family drama and secrets and stuff like that. It's a blended family, and like both parents or step parents have like these weird secrets. That part of it, especially because we're seeing it from the teenage daughter's perspective, feels like a YA contemporary, maybe like a little bit of a thriller. I don't know what, like I'm sure that it has a point, otherwise it's 2 books. But I don't know what the point is yet, because they're very, like, separate. I'm going to continue reading this today, and we'll see what happens. But so far I'm having a good time with it. It's fun. It's just not at all what I expected it to be. Hello, it's been a few hours, but I have read part 2 of A Sign Here, so on to I think it's the final part. I imagine so, because I only have, like, this much left of it. I'm on page 288. And there are 400 pages, so a little over 100 pages left. I am having such mixed feelings about this book. I don't know how to talk about it, because I am really loving Peyote's chapters. I am loving the like humor that the author has put in here about hell. Okay, they're the funniest things about hell, and it's talking about how there's this one part about how like it's hard to explain darkness to somebody who we're not even like scratching the surface of any type of light. I don't know, that was really interesting. They're like, oh, this whole idea of like that hell is below is such a mortal, mundane way of thinking about it. And then there's these parts where like the bar in hell serves only Jägermeister, which I think is funny. And then the music that's in hell, like the only radio station that you can listen to in hell is the one that grinds your gears the most. So like whatever genre you just cannot stand, it's the only radio station you can listen to. And it's a really interesting modern way of looking at hell, because it's not like fire and brimstone. It's just like, what is the most aggravating thing in the world for you? We have a Schmidt that might want to join us. He has an ear infection right now, and I feel so bad for him. He has to go in on Monday and get like a deep cleaning. They have to sedate him so that they can basically get into his like ear canal and flush it, because he can't, like, we just can't get rid of this yeast infection that he has. So anyways, he's not feeling great right now, and we just need to be snuggly. Hi buddy, how are you? What are you doing? Can I finish filming my clip first? Oh, baby. So anyways, it's like I'm loving those chapters, but then we switch back to this family, and they have a whole bunch of like drama, and it's like the wife is cheating on the husband because the husband is like not paying attention to the wife. It's like a whole thing. I think he's gonna leave me alone now. So then we have like this family that is just full of drama. Okay, the wife is cheating on the husband with like a friend of the husband. It's a whole thing, but it's just because like the wife has never, or the husband has never like paid attention to her and is still in love with this dead girl that they knew in high school. It's a whole thing, and like I don't care about that part of it. There's definitely some sort of mystery element, some almost horror, because like it's kind of discussing ghost and things like that, but I don't care. I just want the hell stuff, and I'm like this far in, we still haven't really connected the dots as to why everybody's in place. It feels very much like 2 books. Like I'm having a fun time, but it's not like a 5-star read or anything like that. I would like to reorganize my bookshelves a little bit. I just filmed my book haul, and I kind of want to do a special edition shelf because I have a lot of them at this point, and they're just kind of mixed up. And I just think it would be cool to have one shelf that has like all of the deckled, like not deckled, sprayed edges facing out. I just think that would be cool, pretty, I don't know. Is it functional? No, not at all, but it's aesthetic, so It's a thing. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my audio back in, I'm gonna listen to it, and we'll go from there. Hello, I finished Sign Here last night, and I wanted to talk to you about it because I was having a pretty good time with it for the most part. I don't know, it was very different, very unique, and not exactly what I was expecting. And it definitely like connected the two stories, right? The family that was dealing with their drama, and then also the demons. The weird thing is it kind of, okay, it connected it in a way that like only Matt Haig can do it. Sorry, I'm getting ready for the day and I figured I would just do this while I'm talking to you. The ending was like this weird, like, life is what you make it kind of thing, and like, I don't know, it just had like this messaging to it that just kind of, it felt almost like it came out of nowhere. Like it just didn't belong there, if that makes any sense. Because we were having this like almost comedy of errors, really, but then the ending was just, I don't know, it did not quite match up to like, I don't know, the rest of the book. I'm struggling here. I'm having a hard time like discussing the book without A, being spoilery, but B, I just don't like, I don't have a way to explain this book in a way that makes sense, because I don't want people to come away thinking like I didn't like the book, but it just went in such a way that like I was not expecting at all. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. I don't know how I feel about it. I have this new blush and I don't know that I like it yet. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I think I'm landing on 3 stars, and I think that that's like, here's the thing, 3 stars are such a weird rating because it can mean so many different things, because a lot of times 3 stars is just like, this is a book that I read and it exists. And I think in some aspects you can say that. In others, it's just that I'm giving it that rating because it wasn't what I was expecting out of it and not really what was sold to me, you know, marketed to me in the synopsis. Hold on, I have to do my eyeliner and I cannot talk and do that at the same time. All right, we're back. I'm gonna unhaul my book. If the book would have been like all of peyote and just like those shenanigans, we would have been like a little bit more attached to those characters. But because we kept switching back and forth between these stories, it just felt so jumbled and so like disjointed, if that makes any sense. I'm rambling at this point, but yeah, it was 3 stars, and I'm a little bit sad about it. But it is one that was on my These Books Will Self-Destruct this year. That video comes out like early December, and to be honest, I have not looked at that list in months. I just remember that one being on there. Your guess is as good as mine as far as how I'm doing there. If I had to guess, I would say that I have probably unhauled the majority of them, because like I specifically made that list of books that like had been on my TBR the longest. Pretty sure Neighbor's Cat is in the yard because my dog's going nuts. Anyway, self-destruct, that's what we were talking about before Doyle so rudely interrupted us. I don't know what this year's list looks like, and I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants when it comes to doing next year's. I don't know what I'm going to put on that list. I don't know if I should have a theme or not. I don't know. Let me know what you're doing down below. But anyways, why am I trying to think I can put lip gloss on while I'm talking? I will see you later. Hello, I'm here with some not great news. I did not actually come to you to talk to about this book at all, but I started reading The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. I made it about 150 pages in, and I've decided to DNF it. There's a lot of reasons for this, but the number one reason is just that I'm bored. I don't actually care about what's going on. I feel like there's definitely an audience for this. It's not me. This feels kind of fantastical, and I don't love T. Kingfisher's fantasy. It's just not, it's not what I wanted. I ended up getting about to the part where her dog, who has been like her constant companion, goes missing, is presumed not alive, and I'm just, nope, I can't do that. So like, for that reason, definitely I'm gonna be DNFing it. But also like, I don't care. I don't care about anything that's happening. It's not what I wanted, and we're just gonna move on. There have been very few Southern horrors that I have really gravitated towards. Like I liked When the Reckoning Comes, but other than that, I can't really think of a lot of Southern horrors that I have loved. Maybe this is just like not the subgenre for me. I don't know. I just wanted to come in and talk to you about that. It was a quick little update, but here's what our graph looks like so far. We're getting there. We are getting there. I'm counting this. I'm not gonna like go try to find another one. I'm still like, I I read enough of it to count. But yeah, okay. Anyways, on to the next book. Better Things. Hello, I'm here with an update. I have started Ghost Camera. I've actually read the novella Ghost Camera, and now I have the other short stories that are a part of this, so I figured that was a good place to stop and like talk to you. The novella was 100 pages exactly. I had a really good time with it. So there was an author's note at the very beginning where Darcy talks about how she usually never goes back and looks at her old work because she feels like she can always fix it or adjust it or make edits to it and things like that. So she just kind of has made a rule for herself that she doesn't go back to her work except for this one. And so there was a reason she wanted to go back and do it, and this is actually one of, if not her very first story that she wrote. And she, like, as she was reading it, she's like, you know, this isn't that bad. Made a couple of edits to it, but for the most part left it intact. And I think you can really see like the classic Darcy, but obviously it is very different from her new stuff because it's several years old. But it's still, I don't know, it still has those characters that you love, and it was kind of a little bit quirky, but then also really terrifying. I had a really, really good time with it. I don't know how to rate short stories or anything like that. I feel like I would probably give it, like if this was its own novella, I would give it 4 stars. Now we're going to be going through the other, I guess, how many pages are there? A little over 200 pages more of short stories, which is exciting. So I don't know, like, in the timeline if these are new things that she has most recently written. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we will. I need to post a bunch of stuff on Pango. If you watched my bookshelf reorganization that I put out last week, I think, as you're watching this, that recently happened, and so now I have like 70 something books down here that I need to put on Pango. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will continue listening to Ghost Camera, and we'll go from there. So I don't know if I'll touch base with you until after I finish this or not, but I'll talk to you at some point. I have finished Ghost Camera. This is interesting. So I gave it 3.5 stars, and I think that like with short stories, it's hit or miss. So there's some on here that I was like absolutely loving, that I was like obsessed with, and then there's some that I don't even remember anything about, either that they were so short, so quick, or they were just like forgettable. They were very similar to other short stories that she has written in the past, and so it's kind of a mixed bag. Okay, I will say, Untamed Things, one of the short stories dealing with a plane crash, terrifying. I would like more of that, because I really feel like because it was like kind of a survivor story, right? And then like your mind playing tricks with you, and trying to like figure out what's real and what is, you know, the fact that you're losing a lot of blood because you're dying. And so like that one, I could have used a full novel for. This actually has that first novel, Ghost Camera, at the very beginning, but then it also ends with another like 100-page novella, and then there's like short stories in between. And so I actually kind of liked the last one even more than Ghost Camera. I mean, I liked Ghost Camera, but like I liked the other one too. So anyways, 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. This is what our board looks like so far. We're very close to being done. I just have one more of the main prompts, and then we have to get these cover prompts finished. We're very close. I do have something to unbox, something that's very exciting, and I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you one of them. I recently started a new Patreon tier where you can get bookmarks, and I designed the bookmarks myself, and then there is a company in the UK that I have been using. They're the same company that I used for the Amazing Readathon bookmarks, and so they're like foiled and everything like that, and I got them in the mail today. So we're going to unbox them and see what they look like. So have them right here. I do have a limited number of spots available for this tier, but if you're interested in it, no pressure or anything like that, and you'll get a bookmark every month. If you sign up before the end of October, then you will get this bookmark. Oh my gosh, no, but they're stunning. Oh, okay. It's not going to pick up very well, but this is a rose gold foil, and it's just got these like beautiful like celestial designs, a little hourglass, and then like the little sun and moon. I'm in love. Okay, and then this is the back of it. That is my new Patreon logo. I've got a couple of designs here. They are exclusive to Patreon for 6 months, and then after that they'll go on my Etsy shop. But if you want to, like, if there's any leftovers, but there are a couple spots left, so if you're interested, everything's linked down below. The next book that I'm going to be reading is The Eyes Are the Best Part, and this one terrifies me. It's scary, but I wanted to end with John Mars, so yeah, this one is the one we're gonna read next. Hello, I'm slowly losing light, but I was filming my TBR and I want to touch base with you. We are cutting it close here, okay? I am about 100 pages into The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. This book is not going to be fulfilling any of the main prompts, but it is a cover prompt. So I'm going to be saving the vacation for the last one, but this one does have the eyeballs on it. I am still really early on, but I may not have a chance to update you until tomorrow. It's kind of getting late in here and I don't want to set up my lights, which means I gotta work with what the sun has right now. So, like I said, I'm only on about page 100. I am enjoying this, but like not for a reason that is a horror reason. There have only really been like maybe 1 or 2 instances where I have been like grossed out by something that has happened. Mostly like this is reading as literary fiction. It's reading as a, just a slice of life story. It's following our main character and her family. Her mother is an employee at a supermarket and she ends up meeting a new man who is white and Caucasian, and God, he is so racist in the most unassuming way possible. The facial expressions that I have made have been more like, oh no, you said that, rather than, oh gross. Because they've been things like saying that this very Americanized Chinese restaurant is the most authentic restaurant in the city, and that he's been to China and she hasn't even been to China, so how can you say this, even though like you're my God, you're Wonder Bread white man. And then he orders his food like with 0 spice. It's really kind of funny. And then she like tries to explain how to pronounce her name to him, and he's like, oh, I'm not really great at pronunciation, so if you're gonna get upset by it, I'll just give you a nickname. And you're just like, oh God, oh my God. So there's that. But like, as far as it being a horror, we're not there yet. But like I said, 100 pages in. This is a very short book. It's like 275 pages. So I don't have a lot of room to be completely scared, but there's definitely some time for this to grow. But I wanted to give you my initial thoughts because I'm enjoying this, but it does not feel like a horror book at this point. So, anyways, I'm gonna go. We do have football tonight, so I don't even know like how much I will actually be able to read, but we're gonna try. Hello, I'm here because I finished this book and I didn't talk to you at all. I didn't read any more last night. The football game was actually really good, and so I was just watching football, and I also was editing a video. So I did not get any reading done last night, which means that I just finished the whole thing today at work. I think I had like 2 hours and 20 minutes at my listening speed. So that was the first half of my day. Obviously I don't like listen the entire time, because 2 hours and 20 minutes is not half of an 8-hour day. I'm aware that's how math works. I'm giving this 4 stars. And I actually, like, that might seem surprising to you because when I came to you at the beginning, I was like, this is really slow, it's kind of boring, it's more literary fiction than it is horror. But like, my God, the second half of this book went so crazy, so over the top. And it was, I mean, like, it's absurd in its horror because it's something that is like so beyond what you would normally think, as far as, you know, like someone literally Googling what does an eye taste like, or like, do blue eyes taste better than brown eyes? Disturbing is what it is. I definitely think that the second half was better than the first half, because it's definitely like, it is literary horror. So if you are a fan of like Rachel Harrison, that kind of thing, but also with more discussion of like racism, because that's definitely what's going on here, because we have our like Korean American family, and then our main character, her mother is dating a white guy who fetishizes Asian women, and like, it's so gross. 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It's not what I was expecting, but I liked it. So that's what I had to talk to you about. I have my last book that I am reading, which is, hold on, I'm gonna grab it, The Vacation by John Mars. So this is going to be the final book for this vlog. you know, we're cutting it close here, okay? I kind of need to finish this book by like noon tomorrow. It's fine. So I'm on chapter 7, 35 pages in. I only listened to it for like a tiny little bit at the end of my day. So that's my project for this evening and tomorrow morning. I know there's sprints going on, but it's Friday night, so I don't have any plans. Yes, I am wearing my new Taylor Swift cardigan. This is the Midnights cardigan. You tend to black out when that like gets announced, and you just buy it. And that's what I did. So anyways, I also have my Illumicrate box that I would like to unbox. It came in the mail today. This is the October box, which like it's coming before the end of the month, which is a win. So we're gonna unbox it. I don't remember what it is. Ooh, oh, that's right. Okay, I do remember what this was. It's a YA one. Hold on, I'm like, these little like pieces of crinkle paper are falling everywhere. So we have Until We Shatter by Kate Dillon. It's a YA, I want to say dystopian? A desperate thief and impossible heist survive or shatter. It worries me that Hannah Kaner and Tasha Suri are the two authors that have blurbed this. Anyways, it's also not very big. It's not very long. All right, that's gorgeous. Very, very pretty. Ooh. That's stunning. What's the back look like? I always appreciate it when the end papers are different on the front and back. Sometimes they'll do the same, and that's just boring. But anyways, the naked hardcover is gorgeous too. So what is this book about? Let's see. No matter where she goes, Kemi's life is under threat. The church would see her killed for having any magic. The Council of Shades wants her dead for not having enough. But when her mother falls ill, Kemi has no choice but to turn thief. I don't know if it's Kemi or Semi. It's C-E-M-M-Y. When she's offered a job that could solve their problems, it's impossible to resist. Perfect for fans of Six of Crows. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. It's gorgeous. All right, so that's not horror, but I got it and I'm vlogging and I thought it might make sense to do that. So anyways, I'm gonna read this tonight. That's my plan, and I don't have any thoughts about it because I'm really like 35 pages in. Other than so far it just feels like a traditional thriller, less like his social commentaries, but again, very early on, that could change. You know, I really wanted to come to you with my last book saying that it's fantastic, that it was magical, that it's perfect, because it's John Marrs, and I have yet to miss with John Marrs. This isn't going well. I am 150 pages into a 470 page book, and I am both bored and confused. And I think because I'm confused, I am uninterested and bored. There are so many characters in here and I cannot get them straight. And I think it really plays testament to the growth of John Marrs's writing, because his other more recent books have had the same issue where they are like, where you have a ton of characters, right? The Family Experiment has so many characters in it, but I felt like we still knew each one of them because they had a unique enough like characteristics. I don't know what's going on. We're flashing back and forth between present day and the past, and it's so fast, and I don't care about any of these characters at this point. But I'm really confused because I went and looked at some Goodreads reviews because I was like, maybe I should just DNF this. Maybe I should just like call it a loss. We'll wrap up the vlog. And there's one 2-star review from people that I follow on Goodreads. Everyone else has given it at least 4 stars. So I don't know what I'm missing. And there are some reviews that said that the first half seemed really slow, kind of confusing, but the end really ramped up and got really interesting, and like they were shooketh by the end. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to push through, but I just need you to know that right now I'm not having the greatest time, and I'm really sad because I don't want to come on here and say that I didn't like a John Marrs book, and I know that that's going to happen, right? Obviously, like when you read as many books from an author, like when you read their whole backlist, there will be times that you didn't like their books. There are Darcy Coates books that I don't love. Yeah, I have like 3.5 hours left at my listening speed, so it's gonna be, you know, we're in for a tight squeeze. We're coming down to the end, right? We're less than a week away from Halloween. I need this vlog to come out. It doesn't make sense for a spooky season vlog to come out in November, so we're gonna finish this book today. Hello, I'm here to finally close this vlog out. And it's with the sincerest sadness that I come to you saying that I gave this book 2.5 stars, and I'm mad about it. I'm so sad. I knew this was inevitable. I knew that this was going to happen eventually. When you read a lot of books from the same author, this is going to happen. And I think it just goes to show how much better his writing is now than when he wrote this book. Let me see what the copyright is. First published in 2015 as Welcome to Wherever You Are, and then it was republished as The Vacation in 2021. So this book is a decade old. Obviously there may have been some edits when he republished it as The Vacation, but like the ideas behind it, the characters are a decade old. And so this, like, it makes sense. There's not enough development in each of the characters to like make it worth something. We got to the very end and I knew things were happening to characters, but because at the beginning I never connected with certain characters, I was like, I needed a map. I needed a character map, something. And also it does the book a huge disservice by only having one narrator, because, and I know all of his books do, but when you have the lack of character definition and then also only one narrator, it's so hard to keep them together. And the chapters don't have like a chapter heading of this is the POV that we are talking about right now. I mean, it will start by saying, like, the very first sentence uses the character's name. Chapter 57, Eric leaned back on his plastic chair. Chapter 34, Ruth was hiding in the bus shelter. 19, Tommy looked up from the TV. So like, we know who it is, but I don't know, there's just that lack of like change in POV. We're wrapping up spooky season. We're wrapping up the vlog here. I'm actually really surprised that I got all of these books read, to be honest. First off, I stuck to a TBR, which if you know me, you know that that's kind of difficult to do. I stuck to a TBR. I only DNF'd one of them. I only like disliked one book. So that's not terrible. I mean, there were some like middle of the road books, but I also had some really good ones. More of them were in the first vlog, but it's fine. That's gonna do it for me. We have one more spooky season vlog that will be happening. It'll come out on Halloween, and other than that, we will be moving on to new things in November. A huge thank you to Cassidy for creating this challenge. This comes from Cassidy over at Covers with Cassidy, who I'm pretty sure we all know at this point on BookTube, but I will link her channel and the announcement video for the seasonal spooky challenge. I always get the name mixed up, but thank you so much for creating this. I had a fun time creating a TBR and like building this and then vlogging it, so that was fun. If you are stumbling upon my channel and you are new and you didn't watch part 1 and you'd like to, you can click this box right here. It'll take you straight to that vlog. And if you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!